Welcome to Google Classroom. I'm Sam Hicks from Camas High School. Let's show you how to get into Google Classroom. To access Google Classroom, open a new tab in your browser. Go to the browser bar up the top. Type in classroom.google.com. Hit enter. It should take you right there. If it asks you to log in first, make sure you use your Camas account. Once you're on Google Classroom, to add this to your bookmarks, just go up here to this little star, click it, it'll turn blue, click done. So as you can see, I have quite a few classes in here. It's starting to become a little bit of a clutter. So I'm going to go ahead and archive an older classroom. You can click on the three dots and then go to archive, archive, and then it'll go into your old archives. If for whatever reason you need to pull an old classroom, you can go into the three lines of their little hamburger, the main menu, go to toward the very bottom, click on Archive Classes, and then you can, three dots again, restore the class. You can also, from the archive, delete a classroom forever if you really want to do that. I've already created a bunch of classrooms here, but if you need to create a classroom, you can click on this plus sign here, and then you go to create a class. I'm going to name this class period 2 group A biology, because hey, biology. All right, section is going to be period 2 group A, because we're probably going to have periods and groups this year. Subject, biology, and it's going to be in room 115. I'm going to go ahead and create. In addition to viewing assignments in classwork, students can use the calendar. They go over to the hamburger, click on calendar, and then you can see all the assignments that are due in all of your classes this week. You can go forward or backward in time, and you can select by specific classes. Additionally, you can go in and look at the to-do list. Theirs says to do, ours says to review. If I wanted to look again just at a specific class, I could do that by using the drop-down menu. All right. So when you want to edit kind of your global email notifications, you click on this main menu, scroll down to the bottom, click settings. Now these are different settings from the individual classroom settings. These ones will be kind of global, all of your classrooms. So if I don't want to get any more emails from my Google Classroom telling me anything, I can click that. Turns off all my email notifications. I actually will leave them all on. I do find, a lot of these very helpful. Take a look through, see if there are things that you want to be emailed about. I find it really helpful for my workflow. You may find some of them more or less helpful, but it does allow you to somewhat customize your email notifications. If you wanted to edit your notification settings for classes, what you can do is click the drop down here on class notifications, and then let's say I don't want to receive notifications from these classes, but I do want to receive notifications from these classes. That's a setting that you have control over. So let's talk a little bit about these settings up here. It's this little mechanical cogwheel. Here you can change things. You can change the class description. And if I go down here, I can do a few things. I can look at the classroom code, I can copy it, and I can display it and do some things like that. And I can also update the stream. There is a mute feature, and I've had to discuss that and use it a few times with some students. You could make the stream bigger and have more information in it, but I generally am going to suggest that you go to hide notifications. Make the students use the to-do list, the calendar, and the classwork tab to manage their assignments. I think that that's going to make it more organized for them. It's going to provide a consistent place for them to access the information that they need to access to get their work done. I don't show deleted items. I do allow for Guardian summaries. which are information that goes to parents about what's going on in the classroom. If you wanted to set this up, you could. You can create categories down here. Let's call this homework. So the People's tab has a couple things in it. Basically, it has teachers and it has students and guardians. The teachers, I can add using this and plus icon. And I use it for paraeducators, co-teachers, students who have a directed studies class. Sometimes their directed study teacher wants to see it. It's a great way to kind of provide teacher access to those other teachers so that they can see what's going on in the classroom, keep tabs on the students. The student section is a little bit farther down. I had to take out some of the pictures and names of students and guardians. Each student in your class, there is a checkbox, so you can select different individual students or groups of students. You can email all guardians. You can use the checkbox to select all students and then email them. You can email individual students, email their guardians, email students and their guardians. For the check boxes, you can check them all by clicking, or every student by checking that one box at the very top. And then you can go to actions. You can email the students that you've selected. So again, you can select an individual student, a group of students, or all the students this way. You can remove individual students, groups of students, or all your students this way. Or you can mute them. Remember I told you that you could mute your students? You can. So the mute feature doesn't prevent them from turning in work. It just prevents them from being able to comment, particularly publicly in the Google Classroom. So I've only had to use it once. It does exist. Some students have trouble managing their participation in the class such that they are contributing positively to the classroom community. In those rare events, I have used the mute. It's your classroom. You can use the mute feature as you deem appropriate. If from either the People tab or the Grades tab you click on a student, it will take you to a view of all of their work. You can look at just the stuff that was turned in, just the stuff that was returned, or my favorite, just the missing work. Now would be an excellent time to go into your Google Classroom landing page where you see all of your Google Classrooms. Take this template that you've created that has the settings and the categories that you want it to have, click on the three dots, and then go to copy. This will allow you to make as many copies of that class as you need. You can rename and redefine the information as needed.